Dent.
Joe, right?
Joe.
So
Joe Delorier.
Yeah, I knew that part, but I didn't want to say something
Well,
wrong.
it took me 3 years to learn how to say it.
Yeah.
7 how to write it.
Yeah.
I ain't got it down yet on writing.
Yeah, I know. So today we're here in Brasstown talking to Joe and Clay, and they've been, as you've already seen, been showing us how to mill cornmeal. So we're going to ask them a few questions. So first, just tell us about this meal, where it come from, or how it come to be here.
The history of this mill was bought by the Arrants in the early 30s, and it was set up at 2 or 3 different locations. It finally ended up setting up at the end of Suttywig Road, across the road right here in Brasstown, and it was run there till the late 50s, early 60s, and that's when they quit running it, and they donated it to the John C. Kimmel Folk School, which they just put it in storage and never did use it. So I asked them about getting it, and they gave me permission, and we restocked it and set it up, and now we're just trying to bring back a little history to Brasstown, and to me personally, it's better cornmeal than what you buy, you know, already processed, because ain't nothing in this but corn.
Right. Yeah. Nothing else added. And so, Joe, you were saying Clay County and Cherokee, of course, used it because
Right.
the location of Brasstown's kind of a divided community between the 2 counties.
Yeah, it was a community adventure.
Yeah, yeah. So, Clay, do you remember using it or going to the mill when you were a boy?
When I was a boy, 12, 13-year-old, we would shuck and shell about a half a bushel, and I'd bring it down here on my back, and then he'd let me scoop it up while he was grinding. I'd stay here about all day because he'd let me scoop the cornmeal up and put it in a bag for people, and I just enjoyed doing that.
Yeah. In those days, did you, I know Pap or Dad, Jerry, you and him kind of grew up together. He would tell me sometimes people would pay, and then sometimes the miller would just keep part of the meal. Is that how it worked?
That's how it worked. It's called
Tide?
a what?
Tide?
No, it's called a toll.
Oh,
You know, like you'd get a peck. He'd get a peck for a bushel of corn.
Yeah.
You grind the bushel, he'd get a peck, and then he'd keep his, and then he'd sell that. So that's the way he got his money back.
I
Yeah.
was just a few letters off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? My daddy used to kill hogs for a mess of meat back when I was a boy.
Yeah.
And then later on, he started charging $5 to kill the hog. Nobody'd get him.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I remember Daddy saying Papa Wade would do that, and
Yeah.
also help with syrup making, and then take part of the
Oh,
syrup.
we had a syrup mill at our house, and Wade was the guy that made the syrup for us.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
great. So what special corn? I know. Did you have special corn? I mean, you wouldn't do Silver Queen and dry it and do
No,
this
it's
with,
got to
so-
be a hard corn. In white, I like white. Some people like yellow corn, but
That was it, Dent Corn.
yeah. And I grow some. Matter of fact, this here I bought it from a mill over in Blairsville
Okay.
that grinds corn, and he has it grown up in Kentucky, and
You see the little dent in the top,
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah.
it's real hard corn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't grind soft corn because it stops your stones up.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So once you grind it, and then you're going to put it in bags. Of course, you're not selling it today. You're using it for personal use and friends probably, and you store it just like any other kind of cornmeal that you have.
I put it in the freezer.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I just put it
Yeah.
in a Ziploc bag. I put a 10-pound to a bag, and I have some customers that come and buys it. You know, but 10-pound will last us
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 months. You
Yeah,
know, we
yeah.
just put it in the freezer, and then when we need it.
Yeah.
And I've got a recipe that goes with it. If anybody wants the corn, I've got a recipe that'll go with it that shows you how to put the mixture in it.
Well, sure. Yeah. Clay will share that with me, and then I'll make sure that if you're watching this, that you can find out the information. Look in the description below, and that'll lead you to where Clay told me how to make it. I guess add the leavening and all that's what you're talking about. Add the
Yeah.
salt and
The
soda
salt
or
and
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And the egg, and yeah, you don't add much to what store bought is, but
Right.
it really makes it a whole lot better cornbread.
Yeah. It's like
I think.
anything else. Homemade's better than store bought.
Sure is.
Yeah. Yeah. So y'all do this every year?
We do this 2 or 3 times a year when we run out, cause I sell probably 2/3 of it. You know, I don't charge. I get $10 for 10 pound.
Yeah.
You know, but I keep it down here at the store and at the house, so anybody interested in it can stop at the store and get a bag of it with the recipe.
Okay. So if you're watching this, where Clay's talking about here in Brasstown is Clay's Corner. If you don't know where it's at, you just ask somebody and they'll show you. But it's hard to go to Brasstown and miss it. so I think you could find it.
If you don't know where Clay's Corner's at, you've been lost for a long time.
You've been lost. Yeah, you sure have.
But if somebody wants to bring their kids or school or something, call me and we'll grind them some corn. Is what it does.
Yeah.
You'd think it had sides on it, but it don't.
No, just
You just do it like
Just
that.
like that. Just go out down, get down there on your knees and get your bag in there.
You get a lot like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So Corey's going to help Joe and Clay bag it here. You can see the scoop Joe's using.
That's better.
You're right, Clay. I would have thought it had to be a scoop with sides on it.
Yeah. But it stays on it good, you know.
Yeah, it does. And the sides would really just be in the way.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they? Yeah.
That's awful close. Let me have it now.
See what you think.
Let's see.
Oh, sorry, don't let me trip you with your feet hanging out.
It's fun to play.
It is, I like it.
Let's try this. I may have told you wrong. It may be 5 pounds for $10.
That's all right.
Well, you can place it on
We
the
can
screen.
make it.
It's no big
Put it
deal.
on the screen.
This is cool. I had no idea when I woke up this morning I'd get to do
Fill
this.
it about full on.
Silly.
We need a little bit more than this. Have to get it almost full.
yeah, that'd be the best way.
We're gonna call that 5 pound whether it is or not.
Take some more, maybe.
That ought to be real close right there.
Oh, yeah.
You think that's enough? You think it'd hold a little more?
Close enough, eh?
I think so.
Close enough.
So
See
it's
how
5 pounds
Five
for $10.
pounds,
Okay.
So that one got pretty dang full.
Yeah, you have to get it real full. And these little cheap Ziploc bags,
Yeah.
Hopefully
They
they'll
ain't
they'll
what they
bust
used
open
to
on you if
be.
you ain't real careful.
Yeah.
That's about right.
I think that's too much. Gosh, I'm
Believe that's a little too.
Joe, did y'all say, Joe, that you made that scooper? Or did you buy it? Did you make that or buy
Joe made
You
it.
can't buy it.
it? Yeah, well, that's why I said
You gotta make
it's,
that.
it's really cool, yeah. It's amazing how good it works.
That's a picture, it was a picture of an old one I found online.
Oh, cool. It's amazing how well it works.
Oh,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
wouldn't think, right, when he made that and brought it. I said, Joe, this ain't got no size. It ain't gonna work.
huh? Oh, yeah, everyone saw that and they
Yeah.
were laughing.
Yeah, it's amazing how well it works.
Your engineering mind knew it would work out.
Yeah.
Wrong kind of engineer.
What kind of engineer were you?
Marine engineer.
Oh, wow.
Big diesel motors.
No. End of an era. Steam.
Oh, steam. Whoop, that's spring. Too much. That's good, that's that.
Now, what did you do?
steam engineer on a ship.
Wow.
He's been around the world a dozen times, huh?
Oh, I bet. Where and all have you been?
Austin to Boston.
That right or a little more?
Just a little bit. Just a handful. That's a plan.
It's a Lincoln.
It is.
I've got to take the, here, pull it down. It don't matter.
Well,
I'm scared to get my fingers in there. I don't want them chomped off.
We'll take the air compressor and blow all that out. See, I could have got down there, but I'd have never. I had just 3 or 4 to pull me back up.
It's hard.
I think Corie likes it. You just have to call her next time. She'll come do it for
You
you.
better bring knee pads, lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
little kids would have a blast.
Oh, they will.
Ain't nothing.